Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. This is a video on what I call the Ascendant longitude progression. People have been asking me, just as we did the moon's progression some videos back, and this time they have asked me if the progression of the ascendant can be calculated in Excel so that it is easy for people to follow some new theories that have been floating, which is called the ALP theory, which is essentially the ascendant Lagna progression, ALP, and they call it Akshaya Lagna progression. That's a good invention. I would call it a good research that they have backed up with a lot of people following it, and it's a good innovative thing that has happened. They have a nice software also on Android that you can definitely use, but I thought let us try out the Excel for it, and this is what I'll be sharing today. So the idea here is just as the same template that we used last time. We used the same template wherein we give the name of the person in the DOB input, the DOB date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, time zone, latitude, longitude, and the rest are all calculated. From INAMS onwards, the rest are all calculated, which is the same as before. Not everything is used, but since we use the same template, everything is in the database there. And then this is the only sheet that you would be using, the user. The user input are in this color. So you have to choose the person that you are interested in. I have not put in names. I have put in as some reference numbers. You, in case you want to put names there, you can just overwrite these things. And you have to choose the name of the person. I have chosen particular person here. And also the idea here is, see, this person is born on a particular day, so the date of birth is pulled from the database 13/6/1924 and the ascendant and the degrees of all the planets are pulled out from the other sheet. So the degrees and rasis, rasi numbers, rasi name, star lord, all that are calculated in this table. This is the birth table, and based upon that the birth chart is erected. So idea is, at the time of birth, the Lagna would be in a particular degree, and that degree is progressed as years progress for the person. So this progression of the Lagna, so essentially we keep all the other elements as such, and we basically progress the Lagna one after the other. It starts with the birth Lagna and it keeps moving around the zodiac, but at what rate? We move it at, you can play around with the number here, but generally the ALP theory uses the 3 degrees per year, which means for 30 degrees it would take 10 years. That is, for crossing one rasi, it will take 10 years. So to cross the 12 rasis, it will take 120 years, which is the lifespan of the Vimshottari system itself is 120 years. So that's how the Lagna is progressed, and linearly it is progressed. So every year it will go 3 degrees. So we can work out from the time of birth how far it has gone on any particular day or so with just this linear progression. And you need to define what is a year here. Some people use 360 days, 365 days, 365.25. So you can put in these numbers, or maybe if you can want to remove it, you can choose and put your own name. I use the 365.25 or 6364 days per year. So accordingly it is progressed. So here I have a table in which the progression of the ALP, the ascendant Lagna's progression, or Akshaya Lagna's progression, what they call, is tracked with the time. As it progresses from one, I have basically put it as one pada to the next pada. So this person is my father. He is no more. He lived for 97 years, lived a good life, long, eventful life. And his Lagna was in Revati 4th Pada, 357 degrees at the edge of the zodiac almost. And then I shift over and check at this rate of progression of the Lagna where it moves to the next first Pada. So after Revati you start with the 4th Pada, Revati you start with Ashwini first Pada. So automatically it does that. Whatever be the Nakshatra Pada, it will move to the next Pada here. And thereon it will progress Pada wise. So I am tracking basically. It is progressing this rate, at this rate. I am tracking it as it moves from one Pada to the next Pada of each star. So this person born in Revati immediately sees he is born on the 13th of June 1924, whereas in Revati, and it moves to Ashwini first Pada on 18th February 1925. So as it progresses, I am basically tracking where the Alp is. Alp is the Akshaya Lagna Paddhati, where the Lagna has moved to. So the Lagna has just entered the Aries sign, which is 0 degrees Aries, on 18th February from Revati. Revati, this many degrees, 357 for this person. And jumps to 3.33 degrees, which is one Pada, and another Pada, next Pada, and so on and so forth. I am tracking when it is reaching those destinations in time. This is very useful because the chart can be analyzed based upon this Akshaya Lagna point itself, that Alp. So this chart basically it will mark not only the birth chart. So this is birth Rasi chart, but the Alp alone is for a given date. I put a table here which is called any given date. You can have any given date here. And sometimes I felt that if you choose a particular date in this table, that should automatically populate that. Maybe we might have to wait. See, now it has, I have chosen 29th November 1932. It has put 29th November 1932. And you will be able to track where Alp is for the person. And this is an extremely useful way of tracking. There is also the moon's progression, which we did last time. And moon's progression is essentially the Dasa Bhukti progression. Dasa Bhukti Antara Sukshma Prana Deha progression. So the moon's progression calculation, I have given it here. You already know about it. So I am not getting into it. Anybody knows what Dasha Bhukti is running for them. Anyway, this Excel calculates that for you. And it will tell you where we calls it the ARP instead of ALP. It is the Akshaya Rasi Paddhati, I think. But basically the moon for this person is in Revati to start, not in Revati, he was born in Chitra Nakshatra. So Chitra Nakshatra to start with, it is in Virgo, Kanya Rasi, then slowly it keeps progressing. So this is the second cycle. So I am marking the cycle in which, cycle means from Ashwini to Aslesha is the first cycle of nakshatras. The second cycle is Makam to Jeshta, and from Moolam to Revati is the third cycle, I would call it. I am marking that cycle also, and I am also getting the Tithi for the birth of the person, so that for some people use Tithi Shunya Rasis and identify what are the Tithi Shunya Rasis. So for that it is helpful. And this is helpful to find out the progression of the moon. So moon, even though it is a Ragu Dasa, Ragu can get initiated for Ardra, Swati, as well as for Satabhishak. So moon's progression has to be counted from which Rasi. If this person is born in Chitra, so it's a second cycle. So you have to start from Chitra. The second cycle counting has to start from, so if it is Ragu that is running at some period, that means the Swati, which is the nearest to Chitra, after Chitra. So for that the cycle is required. So I am tracking that as well, and I am calling it as the ARP. So ALP ARP, and this for I put for entire lifespan of 120 years for the person as it progresses each pada. So the idea is you can study these charts for various events. So this person is my father. He was born in 1924 and he passed out in flying colors. Those days it was a difficult education, but he came out very well in his mathematics. He did his BA honors in mathematics, and that was in 1944 he passed out. Let us check how was the date 1944. So here I have slices for each year. You can check how was 1944. So let me try to wait a little. So 1944 alone is filtered out, and when you click on that particular date, this particular any given day would also change to the same chosen date, and you can immediately see where was the alp. So alp is considered to be the Lagna at that year, period of time you can call it. You can, in fact, if you choose multiple years here by putting a shift year and then clicking on the next year also, you will see how long it lasts, this particular pada. So till 1945 February 18th only it is lasting. It is starting here and it is ending here, that pada, that alp pada. It is, so in case you want to know how long it is just in the Rasi, just in the Taurus Rasi, you just click on Taurus Rasi alone. That will also tell you how long it was in Taurus. In fact, it was in Taurus this many days, and it comes to Gemini after that for him. So it is, you can choose even multiple Rasis there, putting a shift there. So when was it in Taurus and Gemini? If you click both of them, you can filter out those years wherein you get those rows alone here. So now how to identify the events. In 1945, in 1944 he got good color, MA honors in mathematics. So this person, if you see, the alp is here, and if you see the fourth lord of education is in Lagna with the alp itself, with Mercury the lord of education, and quite powerfully placed. And his alp lord also has got an exchange. Venus has got an exchange with Mercury, the lord of education. Jupiter is aspecting the alp. And the fourth house, Surya, is fairly comfortably placed, of course, in an enemy's house. But then Jupiter is aspecting it. It's quite a powerful positioning here. Jupiter also aspecting, Mars also aspecting the seventh lord. So alp is quite strong here. In 1944, in fact, the same Lagna, which is the fourth house of year in the Rasi chart, happens to be the alp in the Navamsa chart that year. So automatically he was coming out in flying colors in his education. So that is understandable. Now in 1945, I also listed out this year as events when he got 1944. So persons, you can enter your event and your date and check whether it happened in the correct way, so that we can learn how this alp works as well. And he got a government job in 1945. So how do you see how it works? So 1945, I don't know exactly the year in which the month or something. So let us choose 1945 here, which has been chosen. Maybe even 1946 you choose. Sorry, I think, let me see, I clicked something. I think I clicked multiple years here. Let me choose just 1945. And he got government job then. So he entered the secretariat. He was doing his PMA honors in St. Joseph's College in Trichy, and then moved over to the secretariat after that. So now it's still alp is 1945. Maybe you can choose this year, and that's the year. Just wait for 1945 to be updated in this column. So this has moved here. See, Surya is in the 7th bhava. Surya represents government. Here also Surya is in Alp. Here also Surya is in Alp. And is the sixth lord as exchanged with the 2, 6 and 10 of our professions. The second lord has exchanged sign with the Lagna lord. Sixth lord has got exalted livelihood Karaka Saturn. On the 10th, 7, 8, 9, 10th as Mars very powerfully placed, aspecting the ALP as well, very strongly placed everything. Jupiter is aspecting. So Sun getting a government job was very comfortable, and this is very strongly showing in multiple places here in 2, 6, 10. So definitely ALP is definitely something worth reading about and analyzing. And he got married in 1946. So let us check 1946 April he got married, which means this is the time frame when Mrigashira 4th Pada was running for Alp. So Mriga automatically this changes. In April he got married in 1946, April 9th. And I think April 9th itself, if you want to do, you can in fact overwrite this. You can write your own date here. You can put date 1946, whatever you are interested in. April 9th, if you want to check that. So you can put it as a formula there and wait for it to update. And see here, this Alp has switched over sign here in the Navamsa on that particular day. And you see here Venus is opposite to Alp. So it's a marriage time in the Navamsa, very strongly seen. And Alp Ketu is in his own house. Here Venus opposite marriage. Here also Venus combination with Alp. So marriage is very much in the cards then. So that's clearly explainable. So seems to be very strong indicators for the event. Then he got a child in 1948 September. So let us choose, let us clear everything. So it takes a while, especially when I am recording also. So 1948, let me choose 48 here. And also maybe couple of years we should to choose. So this is starting in June. Let me choose 49 also. So in 1948, if you see here, just click on this, it will automatically update this to the date you have chosen here. And you can change the date to whatever you want also. As I said, this date of childbirth was the September 21st in 1948. So 1948, sorry. September 21st. So there I enter the date and wait a while for it to update that. And automatically you see here Alp is crossing over is Jupiter, and childbirth is especially it's the 5th from the moon, and Alp is here. It is now in the 4th house. 4th is not welcome for a child, but then this Jupiter is Nichabanga Raja Yoga. This Jupiter, he has exalted Saturn at 2 places Vargotama. He lived a long life of 98 years nearly, 97 over I think. And see the Saturn exaltation shows that, and Jupiter therefore gets a Nichabanga Raja Yoga in the Navamsa chart, I could say. The 5th house from Alp has got exalted Saturn, so it's a good year, powerful year. The 9th Lord is sitting there in the 5th house, so that's a good year for childbirth from the Rasi chart. Always focus on the Alp itself as the Lagna. The year can be read just with Alp as in the Lagna, and also the nakshatras and padas. So during that time Ardra was getting crossed. Ardra is Ragus. So where is Ragu here? Ragu is sitting here in the house of the 3rd, which is for also procreation in a way. 3rd is a supportive of the 5th. The 5th law, okay, here it is from Alp, it is in the 5th. That is a little more stronger. From Alp, Ragu is in the 5th. and Rahu is the Ardra Lord. So you will see very many things that you can easily read from the Alp chart. So in fact I have a list of other events also that I have verified are very powerfully coming out true. So I would strongly suggest that you explore this Alp if you have not already done it, and in case you have already done it, please add in comments what all maybe other features that we can add here. And in addition to the moon's progression, what took me a lot of space for this because I have not optimized that. We in fact have another sheet here from which I am taking you can unhide that sheet called get. This I have already shared with you. So this is where I am getting all the Dasa Bhukti, Antara, Sukshma, Prana, Deha. I verified with Jagannath Avara. It turns out perfect. Maybe you don't have to go till Deha. Deha might be a little approximate. Till Prana it works out nicely. And Deha also correct. It depends upon the accuracy that you are looking for. So I'll stop here because there are multiple events. I don't want to take you through all that. I'll share this file with you. It is a little big in size, so you might have to take time to download it if you're interested. Explore it. And there is, in addition to ALP and ARP, they also use features like Shunya Tithis based upon what Tithi you are born at, what are the Shunya Rasis for this particular Tithi. And they also use the Akshaya Bhava, which is they progress it at 9 padas for 33 days or something. I am not sure about it. I have not read much about it. How they use the AB, the Bhava progression. So they have used the Lagna progression, the moon's progression, and the Bhava progression. This in case you want to incorporate it, you can basically put the rate of progression and assume that ALP is AB, and then check or maybe introduce changes to the Excel itself. So that's yeah. Thank you very much. You explore it and see if it works at your end. Thank you.